Yo, did you watch that shit? Yo, that's why nigga, dog. Yo, the nigga page on Instagram is I think it's called DJ Swade. But yeah, yo, my nigga was spitting some shit on that joint though, yo. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this shit crazy. Hey, yo, but yo, I just went live. So tell me if you can see the live joint on my page, yo. Like it should be up right now. Like you just see it should say something like live streaming, live, like on my page. It should like the joint should be up right now. All right, so this is what you can do then. Subscribe to my page, right? If you subscribe to my page and you go back to your main YouTube page, you should see it live streaming then. That. Not the app. I'm on a laptop. But yeah, I mean you think you could. No, you can do it. You can watch it live from your phone. I'm just saying I'm doing it from my laptop. But it should show live with like a little red dot beside it. Or live streaming, like on basically like to your subscribers. Like if you go to your subscriber, like basically in the front of your page, it should show anybody that you subscribe to. And my name, if you subscribe to my page, it should say live streaming. Terrence Banks is live streaming. Well, the other one was that's what I'm saying. The one that you seen earlier, that was basically the upload. Now I'm doing another one. I'm live streaming now currently. It's not showing. This nigga King bullshit, man. Yeah, well, I'm gonna call you back, bud. Let me see what this nigga doing. I'm gonna stay live. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be on that joint. Yeah. All right. Yeah, what's up? Waiting on this nigga King to get back on the motherfucking shit, man. Calling it. Waiting for nigga King to get back on the live feed so we can get this shit going. Cause my mic was fucked up for the longest. I figured it out. So when you were calling me just now, I was on the phone talking to Bud because I'm trying to get him to tune in to the live shit too. I was going to send a mass text out, but it was late. So I was like, fuck it. I'm about to do it now. Wait for this nigga to accept the invitation so he can come into the webcast so we can get it going. But I was trying to tell Bud how to view it. Yeah, what the hell you doing? Oh yeah. Yeah, I told Brittany about this shit on Saturday, so I'm good. So what time is the shit, man? Uh, well, I don't want the kid to get there late. I mean, yo, let me call this nigga King back, man. It's getting late, man. All right, this nigga bullshit, man. Yo, sorry for the delay, family. Just trying to get some technical difficulties early. Get it straight. Niggas ain't picking their phone calls up. It's getting late. Set it straight for all the fakes. But hey man, for real. Trying to get it in there. I don't niggas just disappear like this. I'm sitting around waiting like so real quick though. Whenever this nigga do connect, let me just go ahead and touch bases on the topic of discussion that we're gonna be touching bases on tonight. Kind of broke it down in three segments. Basically, the first segment is based off the title is like what it says: professional sports and disguised racism. What do I mean by that? Y'all been following, but the whole situation with the Colin Kaepernick, basically not being signed yet to any NFL team, not receiving a workout, not receiving a phone call. And mind you, this guy pretty much started the last, I want to say, 9 to 10 games of the 49ers season as a starter. Finished the season with almost 3,000 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Previously took his team to the Super Bowl. Had a couple playoff appearances. So he has some accolades that pretty much just solidify himself to be worthy, at least, of a fucking backup quarterback in the NFL, but yet instead he's not signed yet. So I myself, and as well as the other person that brother Akeem Smith, you know what I mean, my frat brother, my man's, we pretty much have an issue with it. And I don't think it's so much as far as us in the sports world that have an issue with it. I think there's a lot of people in general has an issue with it because the amount of humanitarian work that this brother is putting in right now is. And so we want to touch bases on the skies racism, and not just the NFL. We want to talk about the NBA. We want to talk about the um, NHL. We want to talk about Major League Baseball. It's a lot of different sports that I feel like sports racism and disguised sports racism, and it coexists at a high level. Meaning that we have these CEOs, we have these top executives of these companies, and these are the perpetuators that are signing off on the NFL players. And I think it's time as the NFL players and these NBA players and Major League Baseball players to stand the fuck up. So use your platform. Understand that the business is for you. The business is basically you control the business, you control the profit, you control the gross revenue within these companies, within these organizations, within these franchises, and you control that brings into these organizations. So stop being scared about these motherfuckers taking your job away from you and stand the fuck up, man, for what you believe. If you feel like racial inequality is coexisting in this country at an alarming rate, if you feel like police brutality is killing off the minorities and blacks, and you feel like minority and blacks are being attacked, these are your brothers, these are your sisters, these are your people of your color, your descent. It's time to speak the fuck up and utilize your platform to its full extent, like my man Colin Kaepernick did this past year. No, this does not have anything to do with the fact that he does not have the quote unquote he's not a patriot of this company. I mean, of this country. He's not a patriot of the United States military. You know, he doesn't respect the United States military. He's pretty much quote unquote, I've seen in bloggers, they talking about you are disrespecting our country, you're disrespecting the flag. You know, this is the bullshit jargon that white people like to utilize to make up for the bullshit that their ancestors put our peoples through. Going on now. And you know, I think a lot of times when these people writing these comments and you see these racist ass remarks and you see the racial slurs from these people, this is their true colors. And a lot of this shit, it really goes over their head because they really think this shit doesn't exist in their reality when it does. You know what I mean? And the first thing that they quick to say or they quick to get defensive about is why you're pulling the race card. Meanwhile, I'm pulling the race card because the race card is so evident. It's evident in the broad daylight. This is what's going on. This is what's happening in real time. Down and an alarming rate. We supposed to have a constitution. We supposed to have specific principles that's put in place that's supposed to show equality for every race, for every single individual that steps into this country or lives in this country. But you understand that's not the case. And I applaud my man Kaepernick, man, for the stand that he took this shit, man. That shit took a lot of guts, man. It took a lot of courage, took a lot of bravery, man, to basically put your employment online and say, fuck it. You know what I mean? You choose for what you believe in and you willing to give up every single dollar you got, man, to go back and give it. That's the shit I'm talking about, man. This nigga's biracial. To pull that bullshit, he could side with the white folk. He was born biracial. He was raised by white people. Is a white man and a white woman. This motherfucker went to the University of Nevada. Yeah, he pledged a black fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi, but Cap, even though he was embraced in the black culture, predominantly, he was raised around Caucasian white folks with their specific principles. So the man you see now today is not the man that Cap was when he first got in the league. Was not the man Cap was the first 2-3 years in the league. You know what I mean? It took a strong queen to influence his brother, man. And that's the power that somebody that is awoke and that's conscious that can have the influence over somebody, man. When they accept that and they accept it the right way. And I just applaud and salute the brother. You know what I mean? I really do feel like even though people like me are speaking up on his behalf, I really feel like NFL is in the back of his mind now. He's so focused. Look at the shit that he just did most recently with pretty much getting specific sponsors and getting specific donations from people around the world and around the country to send that food over to Somalia. What's going on over there right now? Who the fuck is doing that in professional sports? And that does not, and I hear bloggers once again talking about, yeah, well, you know, we got shit going on in that country. I mean, why is he worried about what's going on over there? It's not about that. at the severity of what's going on in people around the world, minorities specifically, being able to once again utilize your platform, utilize your name, utilize your success, and put it into the right way and influence others to do the right thing. A lot of us, we go to work every day, our 9 to 5 jobs. You know, we make our money, whether we middle class or whether we upper class. Kind of feed us. Not just the motherfuckers that live in this country right here in the United States, but the people across the world. It's people that can't even put food on the table at the end of the day. They have running water. This shit does not exist to them. Forks and plates, glass plates, juice, fresh fruit, chicken sandwiches, and fast food restaurants on every block. That shit doesn't exist. They're just happy to get a meal, to get some kind of food. So, I think a lot of times too, you know, in these professional sports, sometimes professional athletes at the highest pinnacle of their careers, they take so much backlash simply because they don't utilize their platform. They don't utilize their power to influence people doing the right shit in the right way. They don't do that. They run from that. I'm not saying they don't have a good heart, but I'm just saying they don't have the heart and they don't have the, what is the word I'm looking for? The testicular fortitude. And this goes back to the fact that these owners, they treat the players, it's almost like a plantation master and a slave. You make the analogy and you can make that comparison because you're willing to set aside your motherfucking morals and principles for that check, for that dollar, for that money. And I know some of y'all probably saying, well, I mean, nigga, if somebody was paying you $100 million or $1 million, you would do it too. It's easier said than done. I mean, I understand what the fuck you saying, but what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, what can you, when you look back on your legacy at the end of the day, and you know that you didn't do the right thing for your people specifically, right? And you had the opportunity to do that. That's a legacy. You know what I mean? And that's why, you know, it's, you only have a couple of these people that exist nowadays and a couple of motherfuckers that exist in the past. Like brothers like Malcolm, like brothers like Martin Luther King, people who are willing to lie for to serve for a purpose like that. And so, you know, just to go back to what I was saying, professional sports and disguised racism, it exists. It exists. It exists heavily. And this is a prime example of white supremacy, guys, in professional sports. And these motherfuckers are once again controlled by let's keep it real. And no, I'm not anti-Semitic, but you know, these Jewish CEOs. Everybody knows. And that's not even just sports. That's the entertainment industry in general. From Hollywood to the movies and scripts to the music industry. Oh, and the media. They run it all. They control it all. And that's why you have so many of these motherfucking Jewish lobbyists that's in Congress that's getting laws passed and that's getting specific things done for their people specifically to benefit them. And this is why they would never worry about starving, never worry about losing power, because they position themselves decisively to have their money stretched for years and years to come, and their children and children and children will always be taken care of. Meanwhile, the masses of us black folk, all we doing is chasing a check, living from check to check. And a lot of times that shit ain't getting passed down. We don't have no motherfucking old money. We have nothing residual to say that we inherited from our ancestors or from our great grandfather. Some of us may have, but the majority don't. We've just been conditioned. We've been conditioned throughout the years, and we've been programmed throughout the years to think, to act, and to be a certain way. That leads to piss poor management. That leads to a widespread of mass ignorance when it comes to financial management. When it comes to leaving a foundation or leaving a legacy specifically for something that can set your family up and set the generations that's going to come behind you. And then basically once they come in and they're inherited into that, they just keep that script going. It never stops. It's already been created. So that we should always be cognizant about. And I think this is something that is very, very relevant, and it's something that needs to be talked about more so. Not just from brothers like me, but a lot of people need to point this shit out for what it is. Talking about one specific brother. And I'm not saying Cap is the only one. You know, the Bennett brothers, they've been very outspoken in the NFL. You know, you had a couple brothers this past year that sat down during the national anthem. Majority of the motherfuckers was shucking and jiving. They weren't sitting down. They was chasing that check. And I get that, man. You know what I mean? I get that. I mean, you got a family to take care of. This is your career. This is your livelihood. You become smart, and once you understand that you have the power, and once you get the power, not just the power for yourself, but get the power collectively as a unit. Get other brothers involved. And niggas need to lose this post traumatic slave disorder, this mentality, this conditioning. We've realized in the sports that, or either in the entertainment industry, that we have the power to influence the masses. And I'm not talking about no conspiracy shit. I'm talking about once we come to the realization that we have the power for the masses and to control how their mind think, people the right way. There's nothing that we won't be able to do specifically. Nothing. We have to be able to do that. But it has to start from somewhere, right? It has to. And it needs to start more than just with Colin Kaepernick. It needs to start with a variety of these motherfuckers, these multi-million-dollar athletes. Because they are the ones that's influencing and teaching our babies. They are the ones that's influencing the idol worshipers, the personality worshipers. The people that see them and feel like when they see something, they see a blueprint. Yes, you see a blueprint of greatness. You see a blueprint of athletic greatness. But what blueprint are you seeing? Intentions. When you know this person has more power that they can utilize to influence the culture, to wake these motherfucking sheep up. Yeah. So guess niggas done bailed out on me for the night as far as the webcasts go. It's just me on the grind, live broadcast and streaming. Yo, did you figure it out, my man? Oh, you was? Oh, I know. I was just making sure, yo. Yeah, because I mean, this nigga has. I mean, I done called the nigga. He ain't picked the phone up. And then I guess he, you know, I broadcast, so I ain't gonna say nothing too crazy. But you know, I guess he didn't call it a night. But it is what it is.
That more players did not side with him. Like I really believed in my heart that more players were gonna actually, stand up and do the same thing. Because at the end of the day, all of this systematic oppression of black is affecting all of us. You know what I mean? Check or no check. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And I do. And that niggas gotta eat. You know what I mean? Niggas got families. Like niggas have to eat. At a certain point, you know what I mean? It comes to a point where what are you gonna choose, money or your freaking or moral? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. When is the moral compass going to set in place? You see what I'm saying? When are you going to start coming to the realization that this shit is bigger than me? It's bigger than my family. This is for the culture. This is for the people. This is for have the voice or don't have the platform that I have. You see what I'm saying? And I just think that shit is so and I told me and King talked about it, yo. I'm dead ass serious, and I go on record right now. I don't give a fuck. I go on record right now, and I tell niggas straight up, I am boycotting the NFL this year. Yes, I am a Seattle Seahawks fan, but I will boycott them niggas if Colin Kaepernick doesn't even at least get a phone call and be like, yo, we want you to come try out for our team. I'm boycotting. I mean, Kim already talking about, and my dad is a diehard fan. He's boycotting that bullshit too. So I'm keeping it 100 all the way stacked. Like I'm boycotting that shit because no longer will I sit back as a man, knowing what I stand for, knowing what I believe in, and sit here and watch white supremacy win on a national stage again when I know this has to deal with it. And then I go to the bloggers on like the motherfucking I go to the bloggers on Facebook or either like not Facebook but on ESPN, and the Facebook writers, they'd be on the comment section, and the first thing that I see on here from, let's just keep it up. I'm gonna keep it. This elephant in the room. Majority white people, white men in particular. The first thing they saying is they try to be slick with it. They go, well, for one, he doesn't have the potential to run anything other than he's a system quarterback when he was running the read option. So no team feels like his skill set can transition to their team and make an impact. Basically, and then the second thing is, why would an organization or a GM pick him up knowing that he would be a huge distraction to their organization, and they don't want to deal with that? Okay, this is what I wrote other day here. I replied back to somebody. I said, this indicates to me is that you motherfuckers are really disguising your racism, and I'm gonna tell you why. You're disguising your racism simply because you try to basically specifically say he's a distraction. All that distraction shit is saying is, we don't want your ass bullshit stand up for minorities. So you try to take the passive aggressive route by saying a distraction to the organization. That's your way of saying I didn't agree with him sitting down doing the national anthem. That's all that shit is. And that's the majority of this country. That's the majority of these white motherfuckers that's out here because they believe this shit. And no, I'm not. And for the record, I'm not trying to sound militant. I'm not trying to sound racist. But I'm just a real nigga, and I call things for what it is. And if a spade is a spade, if it's a Dutch, it's a Dutch, and that's what it is. What it is. Like that's how I see it. And let me tell you something, right? People who know me, they know I'm a very critic when it comes to specifics, when it comes to the NFL, when it comes to the play of the NFL or any position, you name it. The quarterback position. Yes, Colin Kaepernick played in a predominantly read option offense his whole entire career. Even when you date back to the times when he was at the University of Nevada, he played in the read option quarterback. When he came out of University of Nevada in the second round, went to the 49ers, Jim Harbaugh was the one that drafted him. Jim Harbaugh was the one that groomed him. And Jim Harbaugh figured out, you know what? Why do I need to take years and years and years of this guy sitting behind Alex Smith game managing ass? Not saying Alex Smith is not a decent or good quarterback, but why leave my asset on the bench, his arm strength, when I can utilize his feet to get me over the hump from being a fucking 10 to 11 game winning season to a 12 to 13 caliber? I gave him. He utilized his physical intangibles that he had as an NFL quarterback, his size being 6'5", 6'6", him being able to run a 4.4, 4.5, and him being able to have a fucking rocket as an arm. Let me position himself. Let me basically not put him in a cerebral, complex offensive scheme system like the West Coast, but let me scale it back some and and condense it to a couple plays to get him out there and utilize his athleticism. And that's pretty much what he betted off. So when Jim Harbaugh left the NFL and went back to the fucking NCAA to coach at the University of Michigan, Cap never had a fucking head coach, nor did he have an offensive guru to come in and be able to work with him on the specifics, work with him on his mechanics, work with him on learning how to read disguise coverages and read coverages better, teach him how to go through in his reads. So as if you don't have anybody that's getting you over that hump, you're going to remain at the same plateau skill wise than when you left off at. Not saying that if he was to go to somewhere like a fucking be a backup for Carson Palmer over there with them garbage ass backup quarterbacks they got in Arizona, he go over there, he get with a Bruce Arians, somebody who really understands quarterbacks, who could bring him in and teach him certain specifics and certain mechanics.
There's a place for that man.
Exactly.
On some team on the league, bro, in some way, shape, or form. There's no way, and nobody in their right mind could sit back and tell me that Colin Kaepernick, there's no space or there's no room for this man on any squad. We all know what it's about.
Exactly.
There's no like sugarcoating.
Exactly.
It's all about this situation, and these motherfucking owners, these racist thoughts, and I commend you for boycott, because at the end of the day, for me myself, I stopped watching the crap a while ago. Like, when when I'm not playing fantasy with y'all,
yeah,
I'm not watching football. I don't care for the crap. Like, to me,
yeah,
like, all this stuff is freaking smoke and mirrors, all this distraction any motherfucking way. But regardless, like, thank you for boycotting if they play my man like this, because at the end of the day, motherfuckers need to realize it's all about voting with your dollars. Like, yo, buy these niggas, what you call it, a merchandise and buying tickets and this, that, and the third. All that's doing is, you know, that's putting money in their pocket.
That's it.
Perpetrating this whole situation for Bob. What's going on, brother? It's perpetrating this whole situation, like, you know what I mean? And they're gonna continue doing what they're doing. What's going on, man? Hey, man, what's good?
That's it. And I've been saying that shit for a while. I'm like, even when it came down to some motherfuckers that was protesting police brutality, you know, I've been saying that for a while. It's like, it's no need to protest police brutality. There's no need to go out there and riot. There's no need to try to use combatable force against the police or the military, because you're not gonna win that battle. We're not trained. We're not equipped to be in that arena. But when you boycott something, the most serious fucking endangerment to the white man and his business and organizations. Boycott. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is, because when you boycott something, you lose sponsors. When you lose sponsors, you lose gross revenue. You lose ratings. you lose support. And when you lose support for something, people start pulling out and stop buying, your shit goes downhill and it goes from 100 to 0 real quick. Why you think all this shit is going on right now and this huge uproar right now in the media about Pepsi and Bill O'Reilly? It's because people are saying that Pepsi needs to be completely boycotted. Not only did they take huge backlash with this Kylie Jenner bullshit, hand the fucking Pepsi to the cop when she was mimicking, when Pepsi basically copyrighted and stole the black woman that did that and used Kylie Jenner, somebody who has nothing to do with the culture, no influence with the shit that's going on out here in the trenches. And you use this culture vulture, Botox, mechanical, plastic surgery, Billy Jack ass bitch to basically go out here and on the Pepsi. So y'all took a huge PR backlash from that bullshit. Now, then Bill O'Reilly, he finds out he has 5 sexual assaults against him. You claim you pull your sponsorship from his show, but you shuffle the motherfucking profit and keep it still in Fox. So you still showing your commercials with Fox. Who you niggas think you fooling out here? But this is the problem. Niggas is still buying that bullshit. But see, this is now once again, you see the whole spectacle that happened with the Asian man. You go on the plane, you ask, I need 4 volunteers because you basically overbooked the flight. You fucked up. I need 4 volunteers basically to leave the flight, and I would give you $1,000, up to $1,000 for reimbursement. So they chose 3 people, and then they chose my Asian man, and he said, fuck that, no. You go get top flight security or airline police, drag this man out his seat, have him screaming like somebody about to kill his ass on the plane, bloody his nose, get a man a concussion, out of his head, crazy shit. And then now you, the CEO, you came out with false information. You claimed that, okay, man was absurd. He was being belligerent. He wasn't listening. And my security took the necessary measures that they were supposed to be. Then you recant your statement and say, I apology. Suspend one of the motherfucking dudes on there and say that, yeah, I'm pretty much now, I'm in a position now where I'm going to do an investigation, internal investigation on the situation, and we apologize to the guy, and you reach out to the Asian man. Meanwhile, this man, he's on goddamn TV on the camera, rambling, talking out his goddamn head. Now now they're going to be dealing with a fucking lawsuit. They're going to be dealing with a lawsuit. They're going to be dealing with a major backlash in PR. Why? Now niggas, now they're talking about the whole entire China boycotting this motherfucking airlines, which is going to cost them millions of dollars. But why do I bring these 2 issues up? It's because you have 2 issues now in the public eye for us to utilize this and say, you know what? Stop the bullshit and boycott this motherfucking shit. And once again, the NFL needs to be boycotted. Period.
That's the only, that is the only way. First of all, with the whole United joint,
Yo.
They had the nerve to, they want to dig up my man's past and try to say that, oh, he had this many drug charges and he had this, that, and the third. Like, what does that have to do with
Exactly. They talking about this man had lost his medical license, his medical license or something like that back in 2013, and then he was able to get his shit back in 2015. I seen this shit today on the Today Show. What's the whole motherfucking purpose of even bringing that up? That has no relevancy for how this man was maliciously attacked. I feel like a malicious attack because you dragged this man out of his seat, bloodied his nose up. I mean, it was crazy. For a volunteer situation. Nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with it at all. But once again, these are the motherfuckers that's manipulating the media. These are the people that's behind the scene. That's pretty much behind the scene in a position where they can control the content and the material that's being displayed on a national stage to discredit somebody or discredit the Asian man. Because why? Probably behind the scenes funding these motherfucking stations, not give me a whole lot of slander, or I need you to sway the public into my favor to keep my business and revenue going. Exactly. That's what they do. That's what they do. But you're right, though. At the end of the day, bro, like boycotting, like yo, protesting is the main thing about that. Boycotting is the only solution. I have nothing against protesting and stuff. Like I feel like everything has its reason. You know what I mean? Yes. Like, you know, I'm not gonna discourage anybody from doing anything, but if you really want to change, what it hurts them the most, and that's the positive, clean, period. Like, and the thing about it is that once we start hurting their bottom line, which is their profit, things start changing immediately. Exactly. I mean, immediately. And the thing about it is that with the NFL, we're the majority, bro. Like we've been slighted for so long, and the thing about it is that the majority of motherfuckers that play in the NFL is black. The majority of people who play in the NFL are black. No, if we just use our influence, like when we just say, okay, let's come because we just that's the thing, man. Everybody is so out for self, like, yo, let's come together. Let's come together for a cause, for once, and be like this. All right, listen. I mean, even just, and I'm talking about just on the player side. If we're talking about just on even if we're talking about the spectator side, like us, like you, me, whatever, and we're like this, yo, we boycotting, bro. So as soon as that starts hitting their pockets, because a lot of dollars are coming out from the, you know what I mean, they're coming from the black community or whoever is on the side of this situation, of let's say college situation, or whoever's on that side, a lot of chicken is being spent on that side. So regardless, like let's say they come together, we all come together and say, listen, man, we're not watching that NFL, we're not buying merchandise, we're not doing any of that. Like till y'all motherfuckers get this right, bro, things have changed instantly. Exactly, and that's why, and that's why I don't understand why that shit is not being pushed enough the way it need to be. Hey, real quick though, bud, Keem was just back. Did you see Keem in the joint just now? Did you see Keem in the on the webcast? Yeah, I'm on the phone with you. I'm watching on my phone. So I'm talking on the phone with you. Oh, yo, cause hey Keem, yo, can you? I can't hear you. What's going on? Like when you originally came in, I just heard you, your voice. Yo, I can't hear you. Hey, yo, but yeah, I'm gonna hang out with you, man. Hey, all right. I'm gonna get back to watch. All right, that's a bet. All right. All right, so look, we touched bases on the disguised racism aspect. The next topic we're gonna talk about pretty much is these new age niggas, man. New age rap culture, new age hip hop culture. We're gonna talk about this Troy Ave and this My Song situation, man. And I really got I got some shit to talk about when it comes to that, man. Cause this shit, I'm telling you, this shit is getting out of control. Period. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna break it down to who I really feel like is the motherfucking person behind who I agree with. Where this shit stimulates from, and essentially why this shit must end, man. Because it's getting out of control, man. It's getting out of control, and there's a completely entire misconception about what the culture should be and what the culture shouldn't be, man. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed, man. And like my song talked about on the Breakfast Club today, man, it needs to be addressed, and it doesn't just need to be just specifically me who considers himself a real nigga, or anybody who considers himself who lived that life, who was in the streets, who dealt with gun shootouts, who served time in motherfucking inside the jail, or served time or was been incarcerated in prison. These are the niggas that's really can be able to give a real testimony to circumstances. Not because you've been shot at, or not because you shot. Because like my song said, that shit don't make you no real nigga. And I just think these new age niggas, man, they just really for real, mentally, they really fucked up on who to identify themselves with, how to identify themselves, and understanding what is masculinity, and basically what masculinity really is, and how do you show masculinity.
Now I can hear you. Yo,
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. So, Matt, you can take the full screen if you want. Go ahead if you want to flip it. Because I've been talking, nigga. You heard me. I can't hear you again. Hold on a minute. You must have did something. I'm gonna tell you what I did, right? The reason I couldn't get in is because when what I was able to do when I went to Google Hangout. Nigga, this nigga left again. Hey, yo, listen, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go take a piss or whatever. Yeah, I keep it 100 on here. I don't give a fuck. Get something to drink whatever. I'll be right back. Give me 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, family. I'll be right back here. We gonna get into this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, hold on a minute. This nigga coming back in here.
All right, here we go. I know what the problem was.
Are you good now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Come on.
Now I'm trying to use this fucking app that I got to do it instead of do the Google Hangout, but it keep knocking the sound out. So I just said, fuck it.
Now, what I was saying was, I was just telling them whatever. I'm about to go take a piss and get some to drink on the feed or whatever. Basically, me and Bud pretty much build the whole time off and on. I was on there going in for about 25 minutes before I called Bud up or whatever. Talking about the professional sports and disguised racism, the Colin Kaepernick situation. But I just went into the new age niggas, the new age hip hop culture, in the My Song and Troy Ave situation, and just pretty much breaking down and understanding what the fuck the difference is between what is a real nigga and how do we define a real nigga nowadays, and what is the complete misconception with our culture and these new age niggas on what they're being influenced on, and what a real man and what real masculinity should be shown at. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, leave that shit up. Go back, flip back.
What I do? I did something.
Why your shit be going back?
Because it pops up by whoever's talking. Hold on, let me see. I gotta hold on.
Talk. So basically, go ahead, talk. Yeah, talk that shit. I'll be right back. You go in on the feed or whatever and touch bases on that shit, man.
Well, some real. I don't know where Banks left off at, but we talk about male masculinity or what's a real nigga or what's a real man. Our youth is being completely misled. And it's not even on no sucker stuff, but like, growing up, everybody, you think, what I'm saying, the hustlers or the gangsters or the thugs, everything like that, that's a man. And people don't understand that these people in the past did this out of desperation. They did this because they was trying to put food on the table for their family. It wasn't something that they wanted to do forever. It wasn't something that they felt like was going to, they was going to make it off of this. It was always a short-term goal to get to wherever they needed to be. So short-term, they was going to hustle, they was going to rob, they was going to do whatever they had to do to get some money up to get out of the game. And see, now these rappers nowadays is glorifying it to a point where you make it seem like this is life. Like, this is not life. This is not real. Like, in the real world, there is no awards for hustlers and gangsters. Growing up, my father told me you would never see a retired drug dealer. Like, you would never see a retired gangster. There's no retirement from that. There's either dead or in jail. And then the hip hop culture and the music industry is pushing this idea of this lifestyle as if it's something to aspire to be. And these kids don't know the consequences of what comes with this lifestyle. And it wasn't built for that lifestyle. Like, you have kids who grow up in very good homes who listen to this music and think that this is where you should be at, or this is what I should do. You don't even have to do that. You're not even struggling, not even in a desperate mode where you need to be selling drugs, living in that lifestyle. And so the industry is pushing that out to the youth, as well as with the drugs and the pill popping. And they're trying to turn all these kids into drug abusers and drug users. And the idea of a real man, and what I see as a 30-year-old man, is the man that goes and takes care of his family, that comes home and puts food on the table, that does whatever he has to do for his family to provide. That's a real man, a man that go to work, or a man that run a business. Being a real man or a real nigga don't got nothing to do with selling drugs, pushing crack, fighting, being tough. All of that stuff had nothing to do with being a real man or being a real nigga, but the industry pushed that as if, yeah, you hard or you this or you that if you doing this. And me in my adolescence, I also thought the same way, like, yeah, I gotta be hard, I gotta be tough, but that's not even, it didn't went way far left from that to what it is today. To me, being hard and tough was being able to throw my hands or to be able to hold my own in a fight. Now it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's all about if you shoot somebody or, like, nobody know how to fight. You watch these fights on World Star, these kids don't even know how to throw their hands. They look like sissies out there swinging, looking all stupid, and then somebody come back and shoot somebody because they don't know how to fight. Nobody taught these kids. They don't know how to fight. You know what I'm talking about, man. You see the videos of World Star. Nobody knows how to throw a proper punch. Don't even know how to throw a proper punch, a jab, a hook, cross, uppercut. You don't see any type of ability to fight. So, and that's like at all. Like, you really don't. Like, I remember having to fight. Like I remember literally having to fight. Like, you know what I'm saying, squared up with people in the playground, and we fighting. These kids, like, they don't know what it is to actually. You know what I'm saying? Being a man, you want to talk about being a man is getting punched in the face and be like, hey, and then coming back and fighting somebody. Not, I'm gonna go get a gun.
I'm gonna tell you what else. That gets me with this new age culture too. What the fuck is with this sneak hitting, sneak punching shit? Like, niggas is like, it's like that shit is a phenomenon where basically run up on a nigga outside. I mean, swinging full force from the bottom of your motherfucking leg all the way up to cold cocking a nigga. Niggas a seizure, like putting niggas in literally a stage or a seizure stage where either they can pretty much their body is going through seizure, like the brain.
You hit it in the butt and then you shut the brain off. You pretty much shut it off.
And these niggas are essentially like, and if for whatever reason, and then once they go into the seizure, so retarded, cold-hearted, or just caught up in the hype of just catching a nigga, put him in a seizure.
Oh, he sleep. Oh, he put him to sleep. Oh,
Hey, kicking niggas.
Yeah, gonna kill somebody. Gonna kill somebody.
And I'm just like, yo, this.
Let's talk about that too. How there has, and Mason talked about this. Other people talked about this before. How there, even who Joe Budden's talking about it, is how this generation has I think it might be social media and everybody being desensitized, like because people don't know how to interact face to face anymore. But I feel like this generation has a complete disregard for human life. Like they don't feel like how we used to feel. Like they don't understand like that's somebody's life. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a complete disregard. Like they don't have any feelings or nothing, and they just complete cold-hearted because they don't know how to have human interactions. Everything is being done between this phone or a computer. That you won't even what it means to be a human being is their lives are starting to get grayer and grayer because they don't have the same emotional attachments or feelings towards things. Like people literally can shoot somebody and not feel nothing. You can watch a video. It was a video of a girl getting raped, and they live streamed it on Facebook, and nobody called the cops. Like nobody called the cops.
No, because niggas was entertained by that shit. They was entertained by that shit, and they was basically, this has become so susceptible standpoint and the norm, because you see so much freak crazy shit on Instagram or YouTube
or Twitter. Just anything.
Like you said, motherfuckers have become literally desensitized to this bullshit. It's literally no sensitivity. It's literally no empathy put towards this shit type of shit. And the people who are really emotionally disturbed by it are people that's in our age or our elders, 40s and 50s. In their 20s or their teens, they laughing, and it's the norm. It's the normacy.
It's the norm. Like it complete disregard. Like and it's people. The other thing is that people. There's like a real identity crisis going on. People don't even know who they are. Like you have a social media persona and then a real life persona, and people can't even separate the two between who they are. Like some people whole lives in social media and who they are being portrayed as on the internet. You know what I'm saying? On the internet, like all about posting pictures for likes and instant gratification, but don't have any credentials when it comes to the real world. Like you might as well be a character in a video game because you don't have any interpersonal skills. You don't have any other skills when it comes to life, but you portray these characters online. I mean, we see it all the time. You got mad Instagram pages, mad Facebook pages with the total dedication of the page is either to post funny videos or stupid videos of people acting a fool or posting pictures of yourself half naked or whatever it may be. Yeah. It's just
essentially like.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's just crazy, man. It's like the culture is going completely, you know what I'm saying, way left from what I remember. I mean, and all of it is just screwed up. We ain't even gonna talk about like just how hip hop and rap lyrics have just went away. There's no more competition in hip hop. There's nowhere like, you know what I'm saying, nobody has to have, you don't even have to have bars anymore. Like you don't have to have bars. Nobody, like your content don't have to be there at all. Like no one pays.
Not at all.
Like no one
pays. And this goes back to what my song was saying. Basically, he was like, at one point in time, in order for to be a hip hop artist, you had to have the full spectrum artists. You had to have the lyrical content. You had to have the flow. You had to have the delivery. And you had
to be able to tell stories.
You know what I mean? If you had the basic essentials, niggas didn't know what you could do. They didn't know if you could make a hit song. They just knew that the shit that you was talking about was so realistic, or it had so much substance that you could put that content into a fucking song
on a beat,
or a beat, or if it went on wax, it was good. It was good to be the real deal out here, and that's not the same anymore. Like this shit is crazy. Like, and I thought about it. I was like, damn, like this nigga's really talking some real shit. Like that shit is crazy to me. That one point in time, like niggas really had to have the bars, and like niggas really had to have the content and what they was talking about, and they had to, and not only that, had to be 100 proof, nigga. You couldn't just go on Max and making up some crazy ass shit and walk around niggas and be like, yeah, I'm like, if you listen to the crazy stories, like I watch. Shout out to Noriega, Drink Champs. Do you watch that shit, Mark?
No, I don't watch that joint. What's that?
Yo, you gotta start watching Drink Champs is Noriega podcast basically.
Okay.
Where he has all the bottles on the table, and it's him and DJ EMS, and they own it. They run it. DJ EMS is a big time DJ in Miami, and boy, man, and they do. It started off as like this. It's still low budget. But it started off as a low budget podcast, but they getting all the old school niggas on their podcast, interviewing them, talking about the old school and some new age niggas too as well, but mostly old school cats like Tribe Called Quest was on there, Brand Nubian, Ice-T, Ice Cube, The Locks.
Okay.
Capone was on there, Havoc from Mobb Deep, Shit. I mean, they didn't have niggas on there, you name it. Like I've been watching that shit now for about 3-4 weeks now. Okay. And basically, the point I'm making is the niggas that they brought on there, man, these were the artists that
paved the way.
They had to have all the key essentials to be a legit artist. There's no one hit wonder niggas. These were niggas that who sustain longevity in the hip hop scene, in the hip hop era, and still have some type of relevancy nowadays.
No gimmick raps, no give me a hard beat, and I can say anything else.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Since we talking about this Troy Ave shit, I'm not a fan of this nigga. I listen to his music. I'm not impressed. Like I don't even. I listened to maybe one or two songs by him. His name came up, but I haven't really paid attention to him until this situation came up. Even when I found out when he got locked up, I was like, all right, who's Troy Ave? Like I knew he had that song All About the Money. But other than that, I wasn't really feeling him like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know he was from New York. So then when this whole situation came up, when I saw that Breakfast Club interview, I was just like, man, maybe it's me getting old or whatever. But I was watching, I was like, yo, why is he saying this stuff like it's okay? Like, this is not okay. Like, yeah. I watched that interview, bro, and I was like, I'm gonna be honest. I watched that interview, and for a second, I was saying to myself, like, yo, is this the life in New York? And then I was like, then I asked myself, I'm like, fuck no. I know too many old heads in New York that told me some real shit that ain't talking like this. Then I said to myself, like, yo, for these of niggas like him and his age classification. Then I said to myself, I'm like, I don't know, man. This shit is crazy. And then you know what's so fucking crazy to me is bulletproof vest, right?
that had me weak too. Like, yo, you at the radio station. Why you got the vest on? Who gonna run up at a radio station and shoot you? Who gonna run?
So it's quite obvious he's looking for attention.
Yeah, I mean, and I try to be transparent on it too because he has been shot twice. He was shot in the head or the back or something like that. So I try to be transparent. Like, all right, you got shot.
That's what I say. I get a nigga the benefit of the doubt for that situation. But then I'm like, I'm looking at the interview, right, and I'm like, yo. Basically, not only is he dry snitching on himself, he's dry snitching on others. He's dry snitching on his culture. And then I'm like, yo, the shit that he was talking was so vivid and it sounded so fictitious. But when I'm listening to him talk and describe it, I'm like, this nigga is so serious.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, and I watched the My Song shit calling nigga a bozo and this is not what real niggas do, and this is not how real niggas move. And I'm like, I agree with my song, even I agreed with my song, even when I was watching Troy Ave shit. But I'm like, yo, crazy to me. I'm like, yo, like, I was asking myself, I'm like, yo, what if he really believes or he's really thinking like this is what he? Because when you listen to the nigga, he genuinely tells you like, nigga, this is who I am. Like, I don't give a fuck, nigga. So it's like in some aspects, I can see why some people who are side on him, especially these new school niggas, these young niggas, and why they call him my song a hater, is because they really feel like it may sound crazy to you. And even though this is not how real gangsters move, I respect Troy Ave because, yo, he was 100% genuine. Like what he said, he really meant what the fuck he said. It was not like he was up there, and even if it
didn't feel like he was. It didn't feel like he was putting on an act. It felt like that's who he really was. But
yeah,
but that character of who he was, even though it was really who he is the exact.
It's not the way you're supposed to be.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite of what you're supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm not mad. Like I'm not like, okay, that's you. You know what I'm saying? That's that's who you are. That's what you done turned yourself into be, whatever, or that's how you were, that's the environment you brought up in and created this who you are. But instead of that environment changing you and making you say, okay, if I get shot twice, definitely, you know what I'm saying, in the head, I'm changing everything about who I am. Like obviously I'm doing something wrong. If I got shot twice, obviously what you doing is something, you doing something wrong. You see what I'm saying?
But you heard what my son talked about. They said it like it's hard for him to change his mindset and his focus off of that when you're walking in the club and you're getting embraced by these, once again, quote unquote, niggas.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So
and not
call
only
him the
the
new Pop. I was like, what? Like,
not only the niggas, but the females. Like,
yeah.
these kids, man, we're now in a generation. These are 2000 babies. They have no connection or no type of relevancy or any respect. Your hip hop 20 years ago, you may have some young cats that come up and listen to the old school shit just because they was influenced by either their father or either
somebody older around them.
Somebody older was around them.
Yeah.
But it's easy for them to say a new age pop because
they don't have no reference of who Pop was. They don't have no reference.
And this is what they think a gangster is supposed to be. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, they know, like, only part of Pac's story they know he was shot 5 times. He survived. He had thug life on his chest. He was hard.
That's it.
They don't understand that he was a revolutionary or he was political or that, you know what I'm saying, that his mother was a part of the Black Panthers, that he comes from he was extremely educated. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand that part. He was multifaceted and talented.
And that's why honestly, for niggas, I hate to hear anybody, oh my God, I just hear so much, yo, this is why Kendrick is the new, or this is why such and such is the new Pop.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing.
There's never will be anything ever like that man ever again, man. Like, it's not even like
the funniest thing to me is he died at 25. Like 25. Like from the amount of content that he produced from the ages of probably 19 to 25. It's unbelievable. What, 6 or 7 albums? Like 8 or 9 movies. You know what I'm saying? Like the amount of content that he produced in that short time frame. Poetry, books. You know what I'm saying? Like,
crazy.
It's unbelievable. So there is no comparison. There's no comparison.
And I honestly, I wish niggas would stop doing this shit, man. Like, it's like, no comparison.
To be all honest, I think Tupac was a genius. Like, you know how you have like Albert Einsteins and stuff like that. Like, he might have literally been a genius. Like, that's just real. That's just real. Like, to produce that amount of content in that short amount of time frame and at such a high level. Like, I don't think he produced anything that was trash. Like, nothing. I don't think he produced anything that was trash. He still got classic movies. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Huh? When I think about Pop, yo, I'm like, what amazes me about him is, nigga, when did you ever sleep?
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't understand how so many people have so many stories about you. Even niggas who weren't like big time artists back in those times or now with you, and they have stuff that's so vivid and stuff that's so memorable to the point where they moment with you. But niggas like me and you, we see this nigga in movies, we see the nigga making albums, we see the nigga having interviews. He's doing so much. How do you have these precious moments with females, with males, with niggas that give these stories? It's like, nigga, it almost seems fictitious that a man like that would have that much time to do all of those things and still have special moments
and still be creative, and still be creative. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, when did he have? Like you said, when he had time to sleep, he went from the studio to the movie. You know what I'm saying? To the movie. You call it. You know what I'm saying? Can't even think of the word right now. It's late. But you know what I'm saying? Went from there to there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, when did you have time to you know what I'm saying? I don't even think dude watch TV. He must have just either been reading, writing some music in the studio, or acting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or doing an interview. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Then that night pop in the club for a couple hours. They probably leave the club, go right back to the studio. They still got stuff.
Think about it.
They still got stuff he never left. They still got stuff never released.
And you still didn't name the concerts and the shows, the show money. You didn't name that.
Yeah. So I don't like to do the Tupac and Biggie comparison, but honestly, I don't know how there is even a comparison. I don't know.
But I think a lot of times when people compare in their mind, they solely specifically focus on hip hop. Because when you do a general comparison on
man to man,
Biggie is not even in the same breath.
Not even in the same stratosphere. Like, what politically thought-provoking statement did Biggie ever say? Nothing. He never said anything. That they have classes on Tupac Shakur, classes in universities on just his mind. Like, what politically thought-provoking thing did Biggie ever say? And Biggie's music, even though it was short-lived, was great. The 2 albums that he had out, Ready for, you know what I'm saying, Life or Death and Ready to Die, they were great albums. You know what I'm saying? But even in comparison to music, what, Pac had 6 or 7 albums? You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I mean, to me, it's no comparison. I think it's all based off biases depending on which region of the world you lived in. If you lived on the East Coast, a lot of dudes, especially from New York, talk about Biggie. I also think it's based off they both dying around the same time. They both would have died around the same time. Both, King of the Hill on each side of the East and the West. It would have never been. It wouldn't be what it is now. Oh, the greatest rapper alive was between them two. It's not even in a comparison. My book, there's no comparison. You know what I'm saying?
But I think in a sense or in a way to just to wrap the fucking conversation up or to wrap the thought concept on these new age niggas is that, yo, like you said, we talked about these niggas have poor interpersonal communication skills. Mm-hmm. They're technological zombies.
Shit,
they lack basic people skills just to be able to function face to face, which they are who they are because this is what they adapted and this is what they've learned since a baby growing up. They pretty much, and because of that, essentially, this is the way their thought process and the way their mind works specifically on how things. Like the little nigga, Lil Uzi Vert said Drake is the greatest rapper of all time, and like Tupac doesn't even stand a chance or not even the same. Like, but some older niggas had a problem with that. Some older niggas was like, yo, I can't be mad at him because this is who he is. Like, this is a part of his generation.
It's all he knows.
So he doesn't know, nor has he taken the time of history to learn the birth and to see the evolution. So he doesn't know exactly. This is as far as he can get. Like, this is as far as he knows. So I just think with these new age niggas, man, it's like you said, man. They everything is so quick, so fast. They have pretty much they're desensitized to things that are very harmful.
And you know what? You know one thing we miss too, and everything with them is about having fun and short-term goals. Yeah, exactly, instant gratification. And like I said, social media, cell phones, computer has a lot to do with that. Like, you know, I told you I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast and I listen to other different podcasts and stuff like TED Talks and stuff like that, right? And it was talking about like how now, for example, when you get a like on your picture, it releases chemicals in your brain, dopamine, the same chemicals that release when you get high. You see what I'm saying? So it's actually a form of like drug abuse being on social media because you get that instant gratification of when you post a picture. So you post a picture of yourself and we're doing ridiculous stuff, posting a lot of money, posting a gun, whatever you could do to try to get those likes or that instant gratification, make you feel like you're important to a bunch of people you don't even know. Or getting up your followers and all of those. Like, everything is about entertainment and instant gratification. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You don't even have to talk to a female no more. You don't have to. I don't even know if dudes know how to approach a woman and talk to her anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you gotta do is slide left, slide right, slide her the DM. Hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
it's no more communication. So we wonder why relationships is failing. You see what I'm saying? We wonder why the households is failing. Kids having babies, and then this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna keep getting worse unless we do something about the way our society is constructed, especially in the Black community, because it's killing us. It's killing us. It's
because we don't have nothing to set in stone for ourselves. We Black people, I hate to say it, we are the biggest motherfucking culture vultures there are. And this is why I say that. People are essentially the biggest culture vultures because they steal from everything, and they have parasitic, and I'm not saying this to be racist, they have parasitic behaviors, meaning that they find something and they instantly fall in love with it because we are so creative. We're just the most creative people that walks on this earth, like, for whatever reason. Me and my wife was talking about this last night. We was discussing music as a whole, and she mentioned that she just like great music. Like, she don't like, there's not a specific genre of music that she's into. She just like music that is composed from a compositional standpoint and that it has great content. And she was like, you know, a lot of times the white people such and such, like, they the ones that play the violins and the tuba and the instruments and stuff like that. And I said that, and she was like, you know, with us, we make as a culture, like you say, like we talked about, for example, the bubblegum rap, the motherfucking bullshit with the crazy beats. She was like, we don't take time to put those type of instruments into our beats. I said we have some composers and producers. Kanye West, your top tier.
Pharrell, Timberlake, Dr. Dre.
Pharrell's.
You got some dudes that know that.
We have some composers. Like, I even consider Big Crit a composer, in my opinion. Like, honestly, or Knife Wonder, one of those cats, because the instruments and the sound engagements and the engineering they're able to utilize into their musical platforms. But what I was telling her was the reason it may seem like that to you is they find something that we're good at or what we've done quick to do a goddamn it's so quick
to duplicate it. Yeah.
to duplicate it. I said because they are infatuated with the things that we're able to do, and they want to, like you said, they're curious.
And they're
They
naturally capitalists. So if something looks like it's going to make money, they're going to steal it. Like I mean, you see it even in, I mean, our favorite sport is football. What works one year, the NFL is going to do it all next year. That goes for life. Like, you know what I'm saying? If some people find a formula that works, they going to copy it. You see what I'm saying? And I think another thing, too, about our creativity, right, is that it's also born of oppression and struggle. The most creative things in the world come out of hardship because you got to figure out how to do things with less. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And when you got to figure out how to do things with less, it naturally creates a creative mindset in the person that is oppressed because you got to figure out, okay, I got this computer and this little 808 here. I got to make a whole beat out of that. Whereas you don't got a full range of instruments and drums and guitar. You know what I'm saying? You don't got a whole studio put together to do that where white kid out in the suburbs might have his little band where he got a drummer and a dude on the bass. We don't got time for that. I got this.
And this goes back to what I was telling her. I said another reason is too because we're born with the natural ability to produce these sounds based on just who we are in general. Like there's something that's pre-coded in our DNA to have natural rhythm.
That's true.
Like the reason we don't need instruments to do a cover or to make something or something that's already been done from a musical or composition standpoint because we're already composed. Like anything that we do, it's always going to be something that's original. The reason I said in the beginning that we're the biggest culture vulture is because we never put stuff in patent.
Yeah.
So even though we may create something, and we may create the majority, we never patent it, nor do we take the time to say, you know what, this is specifically for us. We release it. So when we release it, it's no longer ours. Then when we see other cultures like we doing things, we're so quick to hop on their dick and embrace their specific culture, which means we're vulturing off of them because vulturing not more so of what we're doing, but vulturing from a psychological standpoint.
Mm.
We're once again following under another country, and we're following another country morals and standards because we're adapting something that was not originally produced or something that was originally done for us specifically.
Yeah,
we're vulture because we're eating, we're feeding off of something that has showed us time and time again it does not work for us. Mm-hmm. But we're still stuck there mentally, and that's how I feel. Like, you know what I mean? Like white people, right? Even though they make culture vulture our style, our slang, our urbanism as far as our clothes, our whatever we may have that's so powerful, that's so unique. When they get tired of it, what they do? They run back to that flat ass Billy Jack bullshit that they got going on because they know that's their safe haven. I can have fun with this, but when it's time for me to snap back into the real world, I always have that there. We don't have that.
Well, you know what that comes from? That comes from them. They know who they are. And see, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so we like to generalize to put all white people under the umbrella of Caucasians or white people, right? But you got Germans, Italians, Polish, Dutch, Irish. You see what I'm saying? So they know who they are. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they can partake in our culture. You know what I'm saying? They can partake in the Germans' culture or the Irish culture. They can partake. But at the end of the day, they always can fall back on their nationality and the country in which they came from. They can unite, and they can unite under the flag of being white or Caucasian, and then they can get Pacific and go back to whatever there is they from. You see what I'm saying? Whereas we have been so disconnected from our identity that there's nothing for us to fall back on. We still trying to create. Every time we create something, we never, like you said, we don't patent it. So the black American doesn't create an experience and say, all right, this is us. This is what we're gonna fall back on. And if it is something that we create, it's always the negative that we fall back on, not the positive aspects. It's not the positive things. We always fall back on the slang or the drugs or the fight. You know what I'm saying? We fall back on the negative stereotypes. We don't create positive things and say, okay, we're gonna fall back on this. Like you can't think of something like we could say what people like, not even to be racist, whatever, like you said, but like there's certain stereotypes about certain groups of people. Like the Indians come in, they own the 7-Elevens, right? Or the Asians own the nail salons, right? Or whatever you pay, right? They can partake in other cultures, but at the end of the day, they can fall back on what they do as a culture. You see what I'm saying? If all else fails. If you ask, say, what can black people fall back on what they do as a culture if all else fails? People will probably say, what, committing crime? You know what I'm saying? Like and that's not even to be like I'm black, and that's not even to be ignorant.
Oh, that's just the truthful shit.
It's a fact. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what we fall back on? If all else fell, I can get a brick. You know what I'm saying? That's how we think. Because
exactly,
that's how we think. So it's like we need to create some positive aspects of things to fall back on, whether it be businesses or some things that we can put into our culture to fall back on. And part of that is owning our own culture, which we don't do. You see what I'm saying? Like, who's the biggest consumers of hair, nails, music? We don't own it. Stop going to the Asian nail salon, build your own. Like, stop buying the hair from the Asian people and create your own hair store. Like, that's what we should be able to fall back on our culture, which is uniquely us, because we the biggest consumers of it. But we buy it from everybody else.
On some simple shit, bigger, better business. I mean,
we don't. It's just that simple. Like, we buy it from everybody else, and we the biggest consumers of it. So just create your own. You create it. Just create it for yourself and your people. It's just, like you and 5 girl. I wish I knew how to do some nails or something. I was a chick. Me and 5 of my chick. Hey, look, we gonna start our own nail salon. Like, why keep going to them? And you can just do it yourself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, why? I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And black men, we don't go to no white dudes to get our hair cut. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we the biggest consumer. Even with music, if all the top, and Jay-Z started doing this, he got the title thing going. All music is going digital now. But even with music, it's like, why are you going through the middleman? You don't got, like, you know what I'm saying? Letting them people tell you what to do and how to put your content out there and do that and do this. You don't need that. You don't need to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the way we dress, like just everything. Everything. We don't have nothing to fall back on. You know what I'm saying? And then when we do, and then the other thing is when we do try to create something, we diss our own stuff. Like, a good example of this is FUBU. FUBU was corny because it was made by us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A black dude actually created a clothing line for black people to wear, and it was corny because it was made by us. So we chose not to wear it.
I mean, essentially, FUBU had its good years though.
It had a solid run, but then it got that's played out. But Polo never did.
That shit got played out with, what was it? Shit got played out with them Esco, really Esco. That shit got played out with Lugs.
And Sean Johns.
Fat Farms too.
Yeah, Fat Farm. Yeah, all that. Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, but Polo never get played out.
But
Gucci never get played out. Louis Vuitton. Like, they'll never get played out.
I know.
But you know what I'm saying? A black man makes something for us. Oh man, that's played out. And we stop wearing it. Stop supporting my man.
We want to support our own businesses from our own black people. That's the sad thing about it, man.
About it, but we'll go right. I'm guilty. I go right in the polo shop, get that low hat. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But you gotta do better. Gotta do better, man.
But what was I about to say, man? I think we're gonna wrap this one up for the night, man. It's
about to be midnight.
We could have got it going a little bit earlier than what we supposed to, like you said, originally at 9 o'clock or whatever. But I think what we're gonna do, family, is pretty much what we're gonna do. We're gonna start off building this platform, doing this at least once a week, just to start it off for about a month or two, just to see how it go. I plan on getting better video quality. I'm using this right now from my laptop. So is my man Keem using it from his. But we're gonna touch bases on different topics, man, and we just gonna build, man. And we're gonna make this shit grow. And then we're gonna also have our own podcast as well, man. We're gonna try to link up together. It's not just do webcasts and shit like this, but we're gonna make the platform bigger. I got way bigger visions and dreams of what I want to do with this thing, because that we've been talking about for years now, man.
Yeah,
and
man.
we're gonna really put this shit into play. We're gonna get more people involved, and we're gonna and I'm fully aware that this is very saturated, but it's not about that. It's about getting the information out to the people. It's about
having conversations, man. That's what,
man.
It's about having conversations and discussions between, you know what I'm saying, young men, you know what I'm saying, and talking about things that actually matter to us. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important because I think we think like a lot of people think. And even if we don't think like a lot of people think, people might be able to listen to what we say and say, you know what, he got a point right there. So I think that's you know what I'm saying? It's not even about like us, like we ain't, you know, we know some things, we knowledgeable, but also just us having conversations. It's good to see two men having conversations and talking about issues and things. And then, you know what I'm saying, I would like to see people get their feedback and say, you know, talk about this or talk about that. Or, you know what I'm saying, be able to bring in some other just regular people. It don't got to be on the superstar stuff. You just bring some regular folks and just have conversations and get their opinions on different things that come up in the day-to-day in our lives and in the culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. All right, well, we're gonna wrap this one up, man. Like I said, right now, today is April the 12th, 2017. So what we're gonna do is, I don't know if we're gonna do Wednesdays again, but discuss a date on the next time we're gonna do it, and we're gonna try to utilize the same date every week. So then that way, from a viewership standpoint, people will come back and expect something, and try to build subscribers and, you know, just build the platform more on both of us there. So you get a chance, man, y'all can go out and follow me on Instagram. Instagram name is Banks BANKZ 434. You can follow me on there, and my man Keem joint is Keem.
Yeah, my Instagram is I am a guy 1914. That's my Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Or you can hit me up on Facebook, you know, whatever. My name Akeem Smith. So I ain't afraid to get a government.
Nah, I ain't afraid either, man. Because I'm not there, but you know what I mean, at the end of the day, I ain't got shit to hide. This is my public opinions, and this is the way I things. We discussed that, you know what I mean? So you know, get a chance, check it out, and we'll be back here again, man. So peace, family.
All right, bro.